Welcome back to the channel. Last time, we witnessed the horrifying moment when Yuji Itadori's soul was finally consumed. Sukuna, the king of curses, had taken full control. Gojo, Megumi, and Nobara were left in ruins, questioning if their friend could ever return. But what happens when Sukuna, unrestrained, begins to reshape the world itself? Let's dive into part 2 of our story. What if Yuji Sukuna fully took over Yuji Itadori? Brace yourselves. The age of humans is about to end. Tokyo, a city that once never slept, now stands frozen. Broken glass glitters like snow beneath the crimson moon. Buildings crumble under invisible pressure. And in the center of Shibuya's ruins, stands a boy. A boy with pink hair. Eyes glowing crimson. A cruel smile twisting across his face. It is Sukuna. But not just a passing whisper within Yuji's body. This time, he is whole. His aura spreads like a plague, suffocating every ounce of life within miles. Pathetic, look at them, Sukuna mutters, his voice echoing through the hollow streets. The so-called protectors of humanity. All hiding. All praying. All useless. He lifts his hand, and the air bends around his fingers. A faint red energy hums, cursed energy so dense it distorts reality itself. And then, silence. The heartbeats of hundreds stop at once. A cursed technique, unseen before. Sukuna doesn't even need to strike. His will alone bends the world around him. Cut to Jujutsu High, emergency meeting room. Gojo Satoru sits at the table, his blindfold resting low on his nose. For the first time in years, he looks uneasy. He's gone, Gojo says, voice low. Yuji's soul, there's nothing left to reach. Across the table, Megumi Fushiguro slams his fists. There has to be a way. He's still in there, sensei. There has to be. Gojo doesn't respond immediately. He turns his gaze toward the horizon, sensing the cursed energy that's enveloping the city. Sukuna's cursed aura is covering all of Tokyo, he says quietly. I've never felt anything like it. It's not just malice. It's intent. He's creating something. Nobara Kugasaki looks pale. Creating what? More monsters. Or, a kingdom of his own. Gojo leans back in his chair, smirking faintly, but there's no joy in his expression. You're not wrong. Sukuna never wanted destruction for fun. He wants to rule. And now, there's no one to stop him. Scene shifts, inside Yuji's inner world. Deep within a black void, a faint light flickers. A single heartbeat. Thump, thump. It's Yuji Itadori. Trapped within his own mind. He kneels in darkness, staring up at the distant silhouette of Sukuna's throne. You really think you can take this back? Sukuna's voice thunders through the void. Yuji clenches his fists. I won't let you hurt them, Megumi, Nobara, Gojo sensei, I'll find a way back. Sukuna laughs, a deep, guttural sound that echoes like thunder. You're not even a whisper anymore, brat. You're a memory. A flicker. Soon, even your will to fight will fade. Yuji stands, trembling, but defiant. I made a promise, to live a good life. To help people. I'm not breaking it, not even for you. Sukuna leans down from his throne, smirking. Then keeps struggling. The taste of despair will be that much sweeter. The void darkens. Yuji's faint light flickers weaker, but doesn't die. Back in reality, Sukuna's domain spreads. The ground splits. Cursed spirits rise, hundreds, thousands, answering their king's call. Come, my children, Sukuna says, arms wide open. We shall build a new age, one where curses reign supreme. The spirits roar. Buildings crumble. The sky turns black with cursed smoke. But then, a faint ripple. A barrier forms around Shibuya. Blue energy hums through the air. Gojo Satoru appears, stepping through the storm, hands in pockets. His expression is calm, but the pressure in the air tightens. You've been busy, Gojo says casually. Redecorating again, Sukuna. Sukuna chuckles. You always did have a flair for sarcasm, Gojo. Tell me, does it help hide your fear? Gojo smirks. Fear? Nah. I'm just disappointed. I thought Yuji would put up a better fight before you took over. For a brief second, Sukuna's smile twitches, as if Yuji's name still stings somewhere deep inside. Enough talk, Sukuna snarls. Let's see if your arrogance still holds against a god. Gojo's grin widens. Perfect. I was getting bored. Battle begins. Boom. A shockwave tears through the streets as their cursed energies collide. Gojo's infinity hums, the space between them bends. Sukuna's cursed markings glow, his domain expansion begins to form. Malevolent shrine, Sukuna growls. But Gojo snaps his fingers. Unlimited void. The world shatters. Two domains, clashing, merging, collapsing in upon each other. Reality screams. Every glass surface explodes. The sky flickers between red and blue. Sukuna roars. You think your infinity can contain me? I am limitless. Gojo's voice stays calm. Then this'll be fun. At the edge of the barrier, Megumi summons Shikigami, shadow beasts circling him. If Gojo-sensei can hold Sukuna off long enough, maybe I can pull Yuji's soul out. Nobara glances at him, shocked. You can do that. Not sure, Megumi mutters, sweat on his brow. But if there's even a trace of Yuji left in there, I have to try. Gojo ducks under a slash. Sukuna's claws graze his cheek, cutting the blindfold. Gojo grins, eyes glowing blue. You'll regret that. He fires a reversal. Red, followed by cursed technique. Blue, the twin energies colliding into hollow purple. Boom. Half the city disappears. But Sukuna emerges, body regenerating, laughter echoing. Beautiful. Truly beautiful. You might just be worth killing last. Gojo steadies himself. You talk too much. He rushes forward, infinity shimmering, fists meeting cursed claws. Every blow sends waves of destruction across Tokyo. Yuji watches the battle from inside his prison. He feels each hit through his soul. Gojo-sensei, you're still fighting for me, he whispers. Then I can't just stay here. He grips the darkness, and pulls. Pain floods through him, but so does light. Sukuna, I'm not done yet. Sukuna pauses mid-fight, a flicker of shock crossing his face. Gojo notices immediately. What's wrong, King of Curses? He taunts. Losing focus. Sukuna snarls, striking harder, but his movements falter. The world trembles. Two powers, divine and human, wrestle for dominance inside one body. Gojo smirks, blood dripping from his lip. Looks like the brat's not ready to give up yet. Sukuna's voice roars through both realms. No. This body is mine. But Yuji's voice echoes back. No, it's ours. A flash of light. Then, silence. The sun had not risen for 3 days. Tokyo was a wasteland of silence, smoke coiling from the ruins, and cursed energy rippling in the air like static electricity. The once bustling Shibuya district now resembled a battlefield between gods. And at the heart of it all, Sukuna, wearing Yuji's body like a perfect, horrifying masterpiece. The camera, imagine the camera, as your mind's eye pans over collapsed buildings, frozen streets, and a massive fissure cutting through Tokyo Tower. Each step Sukuna took made the ground tremble softly, not with brute force, but with command. How quiet the world becomes, Sukuna murmured, looking around. When fear finally drowns out hope. Far away, a group of Jujutsu sorcerers, Megumi, Nobara, Nanami, spirit form, and Yuta Okatsu, watched from a hidden rooftop. Nobara. That thing down there, that's not Yuji anymore, is it? Megumi, eyes hollow but burning. No. That's Sukuna. Completely. Yuta stepped forward, clutching his sword, Rika's cursed form faintly shimmering beside him. Yuta. If Gojo-sensei couldn't stop him, what chance do we have? Down below, Sukuna smiled faintly. He could feel their presence, their fear vibrating through the cursed energy of the air. Maggots hiding in shadows, he whispered. How nostalgic. With a flick of his finger, a massive slash of cursed energy erupted, slicing through 3 entire buildings in a perfect diagonal. The shockwave sent debris raining over the rooftop where the team hid. Nobara, shouting, move. They dove aside just as concrete and glass exploded above them. Yuji. I know you're still in there somewhere. If you can hear me, just hold on. I'll find a way to bring you back. But in the depths of that monstrous presence, Yuji's consciousness was flickering, like a candle fighting a storm. Yuta appeared before Sukuna in a flash, his sword gleaming with blue cursed energy. Yuta, shouting, Rika. Full manifestation. Rika's monstrous form burst forth, her scream echoing through the shattered city. Sukuna, smirking, oh. A lover's ghost. How touching. The two collided, blade against claw, each strike sending tremors across kilometers. Sparks of cursed energy painted the sky crimson and violet. Narration slowed here, for dramatic effect. Steel met divinity. Human determination met absolute evil. And in that moment, Tokyo became a canvas for gods. Sukuna, amused, parried Yuta's strikes effortlessly. Sukuna. You fight well. For someone carrying the weight of the dead. Yuta. I'm not fighting alone. Rika roared, firing a barrage of cursed blasts. Sukuna dodged effortlessly, almost lazily, as if dancing through destruction. Sukuna, laughing, splendid. Such emotion. Such desperation. This is what I live for. He snapped his fingers, cleaving the very air, and Yuta's arm was slashed open. Blood painted the ground. Yuta, gritting teeth, even if you kill me, Yuji's still in there. He'll never. Sukuna, interrupting, smirking, accept me. Foolish boy. He already has. Cut to Yuji's subconscious, a black void resembling a broken temple, floating in nothingness. Yuji sat, chains binding his wrists. Before him stood Sukuna's true form, four-eyed, towering, with an amused expression. Sukuna. You've watched long enough. You've resisted long enough. Yuji, weakly, you'll never win. Sukuna. 1. My dear vessel, I already am you. Sukuna pressed a hand to Yuji's chest, and the black tattoos began crawling up his skin. Yuji screamed, his soul fracturing. Yuji, crying out, Gojo, Megumi, stop me. Sukuna, soft chuckled, they can't. They're still thinking like humans. He leaned close, whispering. And I am not human anymore. Suddenly, a ripple in space. The air cracked open as Gojo Satoru reappeared, half bloodied, half smiling. Gojo. Did you really think I'd die that easily? Sukuna. Ah, the blindfolded pest returns. Gojo adjusted his blindfold, his voice low but sharp. Gojo. You took my student. You turned my world upside down. But the thing is, I don't care how strong you are. He raised his hand, infinity shimmering like light bending around glass. Gojo. Because I've taught that kid how to fight monsters like you. The city became a void of energy. Gojo's hollow purple clashed against Sukuna's cleave, and the explosion carved new craters into Tokyo. The narration becomes rhythmic, breathy, like spoken poetry for TTS flow. Space bent. Time cracked. And two absolute forces collided. But amid the chaos, Yuji's voice echoed faintly within Sukuna. Yuji, weakly, stop. Hurting them. Sukuna paused for a microsecond. Gojo noticed. Gojo, thinking, Yuji, you're still in there. Good. Gojo pushed harder, his cursed technique flaring beyond limits. Gojo, shouting, if you can hear me, Itadori, fight back. For a brief moment, Sukuna's grin faltered. Yuji's hand, faintly visible under the markings, trembled. Inside the mindscape again, Yuji stood, trembling but defiant. Yuji. You think you control me. But every person you kill, every scream I hear, makes me hate you more. Sukuna. Hate is still emotion. Emotion feeds me. Yuji, shouting, then starve. Chains shattered, light burst from Yuji's chest. For the first time, Sukuna stumbled. The king of curses actually fell backward, his laughter replaced by a look of shock. Back outside, Gojo sensed a shift. Sukuna's cursed energy flickered violently. Gojo. He's fighting back. Yuta and Megumi joined in, channeling everything they had left. Megumi. Yuji, it's now or never. All at once, Yuji screamed through Sukuna's mouth. Megumi. Help me seal him. Megumi clasped his hands together, summoning Mahoraga, the Shikigami that adapts to all phenomena. Sukuna, snarling, you dare use my favorite toy against me. Megumi. No, I'm letting it finish what you started. The final clash began. Gojo, Yuta, Nobara, and Megumi fought alongside Mahoraga, each attack synchronizing like a symphony of desperation. As Sukuna's laughter filled the sky, Yuji's inner light began to burn brighter. The cursed tattoos flickered, half fading, half returning. Gojo shouted. Everyone. Focus all your cursed energy, now. White light consumed Tokyo. For a long moment, there was only silence. Then, slowly, a figure emerged from the smoke. It was Yuji. Breathing, trembling, but himself. He fell to his knees, whispering. He's gone. I think I did it. Gojo approached, smiling faintly. Gojo. Welcome back, kid. But then, Yuji's hand twitched. A faint, wicked smile formed. And Sukuna's voice echoed quietly. You think it's that easy? The sun rose timidly over the shattered skyline of Shibuya. Smoke still rose from the ruins. The air shimmered with leftover cursed energy, faint, restless, like ghosts refusing to sleep. A gentle breeze moved through the desolate city, carrying dust and silence. On the broken steps of what once was the train station, Yuji Itadori sat alone, staring at his trembling hands. His fingers were bandaged. His face still streaked with soot. But his eyes, they were empty. So this is what peace feels like. Yuji thought. It's quiet. Too quiet. Footsteps approached behind him. Gojo, with his usual calm grin, though it was softer now, tired. Megumi, arms crossed, standing a few steps back, watching like a silent guardian. And Nobara, bruised, but somehow managing a smirk. Gojo. Well, look who's awake. The hero of the apocalypse. Yuji, weak laugh, if I'm the hero, then this world's pretty messed up. Nobara. It already was. A soft laugh escaped them, the first real one since everything began. But even laughter couldn't fill the void left behind. The camera, or listener's focus, zooms out, revealing the remains of Tokyo behind them. Gojo placed a hand on Yuji's shoulder. Gojo. You did what no one else could. You contained Sukuna. You saved countless lives. Yuji. But I didn't save everyone. Half the city's gone, I can still feel them screaming, sense their energy fading. A pause. Gojo quietly, you'll always remember them. That's what makes you human. Yuji nodded, but in his mind, a faint whisper echoed. Barely audible. Like a hum beneath the surface. Human. You're not quite sure anymore, are you? Yuji flinched. His heartbeat stuttered. He looked around, but no one else seemed to hear it. That night, Yuji sat in the temporary shelter the Jujutsu sorcerers had built. The moonlight filtered through a cracked window, casting a pale line across his face. He rubbed his arm, feeling the faint traces of cursed marks still hidden beneath the skin. Yuji, to himself, you're gone. I made sure of it. You're gone. The voice, cold, amused, familiar, echoed softly. Gone. I never left. Yuji froze. His breath hitched. He turned, but there was no one. Just the faint reflection of himself in the glass. Except, the reflection smiled back. You invited me in, remember? When you ate that first finger. When you begged for strength. Yuji's pupils dilated. His reflection, Sukuna's grin, widened. You can't kill me, Yuji. You can only keep me entertained. The reflection laughed, and the sound shattered the glass. Yuji stumbled back, clutching his chest, gasping. Megumi, from outside, Yuji. You okay in there? Yuji forced a breath. Why yeah, just a nightmare. But in his heart, he knew it wasn't. Next morning, Yuji helped Megumi and Nobara rebuild a cursed barrier around Shibuya to keep stray spirits out. As they worked, Yuta returned, visibly exhausted. Yuta. I scouted the western districts. Most of the curses are gone, but there's something strange. Megumi. Strange how? Yuta. Residual cursed energy, massive amounts. Like Sukuna's energy, only dormant. Gojo turned, expression unreadable. Gojo. Dormant energy, means something's alive. Yuji. That's impossible. I killed him. Gojo looked at him, gently, but firmly. Gojo. Yuji, curses don't die easily. Especially kings. Yuji's hand twitched involuntarily. The black markings on his wrist glowed faintly, like embers reigniting. He quickly hid it behind his sleeve. No one noticed. Or maybe, Gojo did, but said nothing. Night again. Yuji dreamed, or rather, entered his own subconscious. The Black Temple was back, though now cracked and crumbling. Sukuna sat lazily on his throne, watching him. Sukuna. Ah, my favorite vessel returns. How's freedom treating you? Yuji, angrily, I destroyed you. You shouldn't be here. Sukuna, chuckling, destroyed me. You merely silenced me. And I let you, because I was curious. He stood, towering over Yuji. Sukuna. I wanted to see how far you'd go. How much pain you'd endure, before becoming me. Yuji. I'll never become you. Sukuna. You already are. You killed for me, remember? Yuji's eyes widened, memories flooding in. The buildings destroyed, the civilians lost, the screams echoing. Sukuna, softly, who swung the blade, Yuji. Who screamed with joy as the power surged through their veins. Yuji dropped to his knees. Yuji. Stop it. Sukuna, grinning, I can't stop what you started. The temple began collapsing around them, symbolizing the weakening barrier between their souls. Sukuna leaned down, whispering in Yuji's ear. One day, you'll beg me to take over again. Not to destroy, but to save. Then, darkness. Yuji woke up drenched in sweat. The others were sleeping. He sat up, staring out the window, the first light of dawn brushing against the horizon. Yuji, thinking, how do you fight something that's already inside you? He clenched his fists. He could still feel Sukuna, dormant, but alive. Waiting. Then a faint vibration pulsed through the ground. The sound of glass cracking. The air grew heavy. Gojo appeared instantly, his senses flaring. Gojo. Something's wrong. Megumi. Another curse. Yuta. No, it's different. It feels familiar. And Yuji, suddenly nauseated, fell to his knees. The markings reappeared, glowing violently across his face and arms. Yuji, gasping, no, not again. Sukuna's laughter echoed like thunder. You didn't think I'd leave without saying goodbye, did you? Energy exploded from Yuji's body, sending the others flying back. Gojo raised an infinity barrier instantly, shielding the team as the ground beneath Yuji cracked open, glowing red. Yuji screamed, clutching his head. Two voices came out of his mouth, Yuji's and Sukuna's, overlapping, discordant, terrifying. Yuji. Stay away, I can't. Sukuna, through him, contain me anymore. A shockwave of cursed energy erupted, blasting out windows across miles. For a brief instant, Sukuna's eyes appeared on Yuji's face again, but this time, something was different. The tattoos stopped spreading halfway. Yuji forced himself to his feet, holding his head, trembling. Gojo, gritting teeth, he's fighting it. He's actually fighting him. Megumi, in awe, he's trying to seal Sukuna inside himself again. Yuta. But that'll kill him. Gojo. He knows that. Yuji screamed one last time, his voice splitting between agony and defiance. If one of us has to die, it's gonna be you. The energy burst, white light swallowed the sky. Silence. When the dust settled, Yuji lay unconscious. Gojo crouched beside him, checking his pulse. Gojo, softly, he's alive. Nobara wiped tears she didn't realize she was shedding. Nobara. He did it again, he saved everyone again. But Megumi didn't smile. He stared at Yuji's arm, faint cursed markings, still glowing faintly beneath the skin. Megumi thinking, or maybe, he just delayed the inevitable. Rain whispered against the windows of the half-rebuilt dorm. Yuji lay motionless, pale, his breaths uneven. The fight had left him drained, his body shivered as if rejecting something still inside. Gojo sat nearby, his blindfold off, eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. He watched Yuji with quiet worry. Gojo. You never stop surprising me, kid. Shoko entered softly with medical tools. Shoko. His vitals are stable. But his cursed energies, odd. It's not flowing like before. Gojo, low, because he's not alone in there anymore. They shared a silence heavy with unspoken fear. Darkness. A single candle flickered in an endless void. Yuji stood barefoot on a stone floor soaked in shadow. Ahead, Sukuna's throne, cracked but still standing. The king sat there, arms resting lazily on the chair, eyes half open. His voice came like thunder muffled by distance. Sukuna. Tiring, isn't it? Pretending to be free. Yuji. You lost. I sealed you. Sukuna chuckles, sealed me. No, brat. You invited me deeper. The candlelight flared. The black temple rebuilt itself around them, columns reforming, floor glowing with crimson sigils. Yuji. I'll keep fighting. Sukuna. You'll keep failing. You think strength comes from defiance, but real strength comes from embracing what you fear. He stood, towering over Yuji, shadows swirling like smoke. Sukuna. Tell me, when you saved your friends, when you tore through those curses, didn't it feel good? That rush. Yuji, whispering, no. Sukuna. Liar. He snapped his fingers. Around them appeared illusions, every person Yuji had killed under Sukuna's influence, faces twisted in frozen agony. Sukuna. They scream for you, not for me. Yuji covered his ears, but the cries burrowed deeper. Suddenly, a voice cut through the chaos. Megumi's voice distant, Yuji. Wake up. The illusions cracked. The temple shook. Sukuna's grin widened. Sukuna. Ah, your little friend. He's trying to drag you out. Should I say hello? He reached out, and the world inverted. Outside, Yuji's body jolted upright with a violent gasp. His eyes, red, glowing. The cursed markings flared across his chest like lightning veins. Megumi, shouting, Gojo-sensei. Gojo, already moving, he's slipping again. A sudden burst of cursed energy threw everyone back. Sukuna's laughter spilled from Yuji's mouth. Sukuna, through Yuji, missed me. Gojo clenched his fists, infinity shimmering. Gojo. You really don't know when to quit. Sukuna. Neither do you. They collided, light against shadow. The room shattered outward in a hurricane of cursed force. Yuta pulled Megumi aside. Yuta. If Gojo fights him at full power, Yuji's body won't survive. Megumi. Then we find a way to separate them, now. While their bodies clashed, Yuji's consciousness still stood face to face with Sukuna. Every blow Gojo landed rippled through the mindscape, fragments of light piercing the darkness. Yuji, straining, I won't let you hurt them again. Sukuna, snarling, then stop me. He lunged. They clashed hand to hand, spiritual forms colliding with explosions of cursed fire and blue sparks. Yuji's fists bled light, Sukuna's claws dripped shadow. Each hit echoed like thunder in the void. Sukuna, mocking, every time you fight me, I grow stronger. Because you use my power. Yuji. Then I'll turn your strength against you. Yuji channeled a memory, Gojo's training, Megumi's trust, Nobara's laughter. A blinding pulse of white energy burst from him, pure, human will. For a moment, Sukuna staggered, his tattoos flickering. Sukuna, smiling even then, finally, something interesting. The building collapsed as Gojo and Sukuna Yuji tore through it. Gojo blurred forward, his cursed technique singing through the air. Sukuna laughed, deflecting strikes that could vaporize mountains. Gojo. I can see it. Sukuna, he's fighting you from inside. Sukuna, grinning, then watch him lose. Their energy collided, forming a sphere of expanding destruction. Megumi extended his shadow technique, summoning divine dogs to absorb the blast. Yuta used reverse cursed energy to stabilize the barrier. Inside the storm, Sukuna paused, smirking. Sukuna. He's stubborn, almost admirable. Sukuna thrust Yuji back into his own memories. Scenes flashed. His grandfather's hospital bed, the day he ate the first finger, the moment Gojo smiled and called him special. Sukuna. You think you're the hero of this story. But you're just my vessel, my stage. Yuji. Maybe. But even a stage can burn down its actor. He slammed his palm to the ground. Cursed light exploded, fracturing the temple floor. Chains of energy burst from Yuji's chest, wrapping around Sukuna. Each chain glowed with faces: Megumi, Nobara, Gojo, Yuta, Shoko, everyone Yuji had fought beside. Yuji, yelling, "They're my strength, not yours." Sukuna roared, tearing at the chains. Sukuna. Fool. You think sentiment can bind a king? Yuji. No. But it can banish one. Both raised their hands, cursed domains colliding inside the same soul. The void shattered into shards of red and blue light. Yuji's domain, heart of resolve. Sukuna's domain, malevolent shrine. The two realms fused, screaming against each other. Reality bled, their spirits nearly tearing apart. Sukuna, darkly, if I die, you die too. Yuji. Then we'll die as one. He lunged, driving his glowing fist straight into Sukuna's chest. The explosion was silent, a white flash swallowing everything. Yuji opened his eyes to morning light. He was lying on the ground outside the ruins, surrounded by his friends. Gojo was kneeling beside him, smiling faintly. Gojo. You did it again, kid. You're getting really good at dying. Yuji blinked, confused, then laughed weakly. Yuji. Is he gone? Gojo. For now. But you know curses, they love sequels. The group chuckled softly, tension fading. Yet Yuji's smile wavered. Deep down, he still felt something, a faint heartbeat, echoing within the silence of his soul. And so ends the tale of the boy who fought a god within himself. He won, but at what cost? For even when the king sleeps, dreams can awaken. And when he wakes again, will Yuji still be there, or will the world meet Sukuna once more? If you felt this story in your heart, don't forget to like, comment,